Well, it's middle of July, and this is a bit of a garden update. We've done our first round of weeding, which is basically we're using chop and drop this year. So all the thistles and everything else, we're not pulling out of the ground. We want those living roots in the soil still. And so we're just cutting them with a scythe or a knife and laying them down as mulch. So we have living roots still putting exudates into the soil, and then the mulch to help lock in some of the nutrients and moisture. These are 4 beds that we put in the fall. We dug in the fall, and so they're having the most weed pressure this year. We're using potatoes as usual and fava beans to help establish the garden and get some of the weed pressure under control. This area here is going to be another 3 or 4 beds that we'll uncover in the fall, and we'll shape and put mulch on and do the same thing next spring. We have a look over here. There's that old rototiller that is disappearing into the weeds. This bed here is an experimental bed. We tried planting fall potatoes in here to see if they survive the winter, and a few have come up, but most of them didn't. And we're trialing tobacco in here at the moment. So you can see the odd potato, some Egyptian walking onions. They look like they're doing pretty well here, and they're a great perennial onion that are pretty much bomb-proof. This bed is interesting. We are growing our normal potatoes as usual. We've got some Egyptian walking onions in here as well, and we planted some chickpeas. And you can see in here there's a plant with these little fine leaves. They're chickpea plants, and they're just starting to flower now, so then we might even get a harvest in here, which would be cool. These 3 beds here are trial beds that we growing garlic to see how well they do up here without any irrigation and the deer pressure, and they're interplanted with Egyptian walking onions. And we also planted potatoes in here in the fall to see if they'd come up, and they never did. Well, a couple of them did, but yeah, that was a failed experiment. But the garlic seemed to be doing okay. We've just finished picking the scapes, and there's 3 different varieties of garlic in here. So hardneck garlic, but we're trying to see which variety works best in this context. These final 4 beds are just our normal potatoes and fava beans. We threw some peanuts in there to see if they would grow. I haven't seen any peanut plants yet. Maybe they're there, who knows. And we'll hopefully get a good crop of potatoes this year. And that's it. Middle of July, over and out.